Hello, welcome. I'm Lou Ann Feehan, President and CEO of Nonprofit Connect. Thank you so much for joining us today for the 37th Annual Philanthropy Awards Luncheon. We are so proud to celebrate with the good that is happening in our community. The program will begin in 15 minutes. Please take this time to meet and greet sponsors and fellow nonprofit professionals. In the meantime, we hope that you will chat it up a little bit with us and put a hello in the chat and join us in the conversation.
At Community America, we had to quickly pivot to meet our members' needs at the beginning of this pandemic, and some are still struggling. Today, Community America salutes all the outstanding nonprofit organizations, their staff members and volunteers for the hard work, dedication, and innovation they've shown to meet the needs of our Kansas City community.
The past year has challenged the health, mental health, and financial security of many people in our region. If there is a bright side to the many challenges we face together, it is the opportunity to emerge anew. I want to offer my congratulations to all of today's honorees and to those working to create the conditions in which everyone thrives and has a fair and just opportunity for health and economic well-being.
Hello, we're Megan Stevens and Nicole Satterwhite with Willoughby Design, a brand strategy and design firm located right here in Kansas City.
Here's to all of the 2021 Philanthropy Award honorees and to Nonprofit Connect for making lemonade out of lemons. Cheers!
Welcome to the 2021 Nonprofit Connect Philanthropy Awards. I'm Wendy Reynolds, President of Bank of Blue Valley, and proud sponsor of today's event, honoring those organizations and individuals who have showcased such resiliency, care, and collaboration, and made a tremendous impact on our community. We're excited to celebrate their successes together with you.
On behalf of Country Club Bank, we would like to congratulate this year's nominees and thank them for their extraordinary efforts within our incredible community. We look forward to a year of renewed hope and optimism. Thank you again for your community support and enjoy the luncheon.
Hi, I'm Rachel Merlo with Google Fiber and a previous Philanthropy Award honoree. Congratulations to the 2021 honorees. Thank you for everything you do to make Kansas City a better place, and thank you to Nonprofit Connect for your work to turn obstacles into opportunities. Congratulations, everyone.
J.E. Dunn Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor. We've been a sponsor for a number of decades. It's a great event. Congratulations to this year's award recipients. Each of you are so deserving for all the great work you do to improve and support our community.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Greg Mosier, President of Kansas City, Kansas Community College. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to all honorees and those attending today that dedicatedly work to serve our community and create positive change.
Hi, I'm Adam Johnson, Vice President of Mutual of America. As a member and sponsor of this year's 37th Annual Philanthropy Awards Luncheon, I'd like to congratulate all the great nominees and wish you the best of luck. Thanks.
Hey guys, it's Jackie Baker, Senior Director of Member Relations for Nonprofit Connect. We're so glad to have you with us today. The event will start in 10 minutes. Go ahead and say hello to your nonprofit friends in the chat box.
Thanks for helping kids like me.
Thank you so much for helping kids like me.
Gracias!
Congratulations to all of today's nominees. This was a tough year. Well done. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank all of the nonprofits that are supported by Nonprofit Connect. At Evergy, we are so delighted to support Nonprofit Connect and be a part of your world. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Hi, it's Kim Carroll with Heart to Heart International. It's a real pleasure to be here at the Nonprofit Connect Awards ceremony. As we continue to work alongside many of the partners here today, vaccinating people across the Kansas City metro area, we're looking forward to a future that's even better than the past.
On behalf of the Kansas City Chiefs and the Hunt Family Foundation, I'd like to welcome you to this year's Awards Luncheon. We are proud to be a sponsor of this event and to help recognize those who turned obstacles into opportunities in 2020.
Whether on the air, online, or on the go, thank you for watching, reading, and listening. No matter who you are, no matter your interests, Kansas City PBS is your trusted source for public media.
The resiliency of the nonprofit sector has never been on display more than this past year. The Reach Healthcare Foundation applauds our nonprofit colleagues who continue to meet the health equity and social justice challenges of our time. Congratulations to today's winners, and let's get those vaccines, everyone, so that we can be together next year.
This is Emily Hain, Director of Learning at Nonprofit Connect. Can you feel the excitement building? The program will begin in 5 minutes, so refill that drink, grab your lunch, and say hello in the chat box now. Let's get ready to celebrate Nonprofit Connect's 37th Philanthropy Awards Luncheon and recognize this year's honorees.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Byrne. I'm the CEO and president, co-founder of Byrne, Pulaski & Associates. We're a full-service consulting firm based in Kansas City, working on all aspects of fundraising and development for your nonprofit.
This has been a challenging year for all of us, yet so many amazing organizations have been able to turn lemons into lemonade, providing hope and help to thousands of people across our community. Congratulations to this year's award winner.
Hello, Kansas City. I'm Judy Keller, president of Keller Consulting, and it has been an absolute honor to work in our community for more than 30 years. Today's luncheon is a great celebration, and we want to congratulate all our nominees and award recipients for your outstanding work in an unforgettable time.
Hi, this is Erin Stuckey with KVC Health Systems. As a nonprofit serving children in foster care and those in mental health crisis, we're proud to be a sponsor of today's event honoring Kansas City nonprofits. Congratulations to the winners. Your work inspires us.
I'm Michelle Anderson.
And I'm Mike Tracy.
On behalf of all of us here at Omni Human Resource Management, we would like to extend thanks and congratulations to all of this year's NP Connect Award winners and nominees.
Well done.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chuck Kudo with Opus Commercial Real Estate. On behalf of Nonprofit Connect, it's my privilege and pleasure to welcome you to the 2021 Philanthropy Awards Luncheon.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Rude Clifford. I'm the Vice President of Philanthropy at Starlight Theater. We are so excited to be a part of this year's Philanthropy Luncheon. We wish we were there together in person, but we're happy to be supportive of everything that's happening in the nonprofit sector and all of the great champions who have made this last year so good. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ann Thomas, President and CEO of The Children's Place. Just want to say a big congratulations to Ann Tinsman for being honored as the Persevering Advocate Award by Nonprofit Connect. Thank you, Ann, for all you've done for this agency and for the Kansas City community.
Hi, I'm Andrew Allison Putman, Chief Development and Equity Officer for the YMCA of Greater Kansas City and a sponsor of this event. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you to all the organizations who made a significant impact to the extraordinary events of 2020.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nonprofit Connect's Celebration for Doing Good in Kansas City. My name is Michaela Stevenson, Board President for Nonprofit Connect.
And my name is Jake Jacobson, Secretary for the Nonprofit Connect Board of Directors and Event Committee Chair for the Philanthropy Awards Luncheon.
On behalf of Nonprofit Connect, we would like to extend a sincere thank you for joining us as we recognize the outstanding accomplishments made by the nonprofit community in Kansas City. In order to actively participate in today's event, we encourage you to use the chat feature in your live stream window, as well as the hashtag MakingLemonadeKC on your social media pages. If you haven't done so already, please drop a hello in the chat.
And at the conclusion of today's program, you will have the opportunity to meet and greet this year's award nominees and honorees in our celebration rooms via Zoom. So now is the time for you to chat freely without your video on while you enjoy lunch, but be ready for some face-to-face conversation with your video on at the end of the hour. The celebration room Zoom links can be found below this live stream on the event page.
Although we are unable to be together in person this year, we're grateful to be with you today in this virtual setting. It's always a joy to see how Kansas Cityans come together to improve our community, including generous philanthropists, passionate volunteers, and talented nonprofit professionals.
For the past 37 years, this Philanthropy Awards Luncheon has recognized more than 220 honorees who altogether make up Kansas City's most generous citizens. If you're joining us today and have been previously honored at this event, we would like to extend a special thank you for all that you have done and continue to do for our city.
The mission of Nonprofit Connect is to provide education resources and networking so nonprofit organizations can more effectively achieve their missions in Kansas City. Let's take a moment to learn about the impact Nonprofit Connect is making and the rippling effect it makes throughout the community.
Nonprofit organizations are important to Kansas City because they address needs that are not being met. Often when we think about nonprofits, we think about shelters and pantries, soup kitchens, but they also include the arts and culture. They include libraries. And so really the nonprofit's role is to fill gaps as it relates to service provision and to build bridges to things like culture and the arts that people might not otherwise be able to experience. So really when we think about nonprofits, whether it's a small nonprofit, a startup, or one of our very complex nonprofits like a hospital, they don't just help the community survive, they help the community thrive. We have such an impact on this community, it's time that nonprofits are at the decision-making table. Nonprofits have been affected by the pandemic in the same ways that many other entities. Of course, we want to keep employees safe, and we also want to have business continuity. Unlike other industries, demand for services from nonprofits is increasing during the pandemic. When you think about things such as food, utility assistance, rent assistance, and even healthcare, that demand is going up. And so nonprofits find themselves particularly busy during this time. We also count on our community for the revenue support that enables us to deliver on our mission. And so that can be troublesome because the very people we often receive financial support from now may be the very people who need our services. So it's a difficult time for us, but the saying when the going gets tough, the tough get going, that's the nonprofit sector. We know that many of the individuals and families that we serve are in need because of systemic racism. But we also have to take an internal look and make sure that our own operations are not adding to this problem. It's just very important if we want to really be successful in terms of changing our community. We are not in a position to ignore something that is a glaring problem. Nonprofits have been responding to crisis and addressing inequality for centuries. We are the leaders in filling the gap, building the bridges, providing voice, and making a difference. I am so proud of Nonprofit Connect's efforts during this time because Nonprofit Connect is doing what it does, providing education, resources, and community where nonprofit professionals can come together and learn how to adapt to these new challenges we're facing. Nonprofit Connect is a treasure here in Kansas City, and I am so happy that it's here, and I know my nonprofit colleagues would say the same.
Nonprofit Connect membership includes more than 800 nonprofit organizations and business partners. In 2020, more than 9,000 nonprofit professionals, board members, and volunteers attended Nonprofit Connect's educational programs, all of which were hosted virtually. Additionally, 1,200 on-demand resources were accessed and more than 1,400 nonprofit jobs were posted on the job board. I think we can all agree that we are fortunate to have Nonprofit Connect in Kansas City.
Thanks for sharing those stats, Jake. It's a great summary from Nonprofit Connect of some good that happened in 2020. The year of 2020 was a challenge for all of us in Kansas City and beyond. Mentally, physically, and emotionally, the past year tested each of us in ways we could have never imagined and forced us to persevere through the loss of many things: time with family members and friends, businesses, jobs, our normal routines, physical closeness, a feeling of safety, and so much more. We experience heartbreak, devastation, frustration, and exhaustion, and likely experience what felt like a seemingly never-ending year. However, despite all of this, we are here today. We prove that barriers can be broken, change is possible, and that we are stronger together. Nonprofit organizations had to be innovative in 2020 to continue fulfilling their missions of serving on the front lines, helping citizens, and responding to the needs of the community. That is what we are here to celebrate today.
We were humbled and in awe to see how nonprofit organizations adapted in 2020 by using new tools, working in different environments, tackling unparalleled shifts in resources, and continuing to fight for social justice. Upon seeing this, Nonprofit Connect wanted to use this Philanthropy Awards Luncheon as a unique platform to spotlight these accomplishments.
We asked for stories to learn more about how nonprofits in our community conquered the challenges of 2020 and were blown away by the number of responses we received. We appreciate you all sharing your stories of perseverance, resilience, and advocacy with us. With help from a group of community leaders, 28 stories were selected to be recognized at today's event. These stories have been aligned into one of the following 5 categories: brilliance and resilience, pivoting pioneer, equity in action, stronger together, and persevering advocate. These stories from nonprofit organizations and individuals demonstrate how obstacles were turned into opportunities in 2020. When life gave them lemons, they made lemonade.
For the award categories recognizing nonprofit organizations, the winning honorees were determined by a People's Choice vote that occurred in late March. We'll be recognizing 2 honorees within each of these categories, a large organization and a small organization, with the division being an annual budget of $1.5 million. We were ecstatic to have more than 3,300 community members participate in this People's Choice voting process.
It is now our pleasure to pass the microphone over to our fellow Nonprofit Connect board members to begin our program and announce this year's Philanthropy Award honorees.
Thank you, Michaela. Our first set of nominees is for the Brilliance in Resilience Award. This award recognizes nonprofit organizations that continued to deliver existing programs and services in 2020. The nominees for the Brilliance in Resilience Award, with a budget of less than $1.5 million, are Community Assistance Council, Flourish Furnishings, and Hope Faith.
Community Assistance Council provides rent, utility, and food assistance to a population of 80,000 in South Kansas City. While many businesses shut down in March 2020, Community Assistance Council never closed their doors. The number of families that needed food doubled, and the organization often responded to 100 calls a day for rent and utility assistance. The agency responded to the massive demand for services by shifting to staggered work days, curbside food distribution, and online assistance applications. In doubling down, the team also doubled their impact, helping 7,500 individuals in 2020 compared to 4,216 individuals in 2019.
As the only furniture bank in the Kansas City area, Flourish Furnishings worked hard in 2020 to distribute household essentials to those recently out of foster care and homeless shelters. 77% of the organization's clients live below the poverty line, which means the pandemic hit them harder than most. After shutting down for 8 weeks, Flourish Furnishings reopened by coordinating a drive-through donation line. The team also implemented virtual shopping appointments so that clients could feel empowered by selecting items for their homes. Ultimately, Flourish Furnishings was able to provide 22,000 household essentials to 629 families in need last year.
Hope Faith is a one-stop homeless assistance campus that provides food, clothing, case management, and other essential services to the community. At the beginning of the pandemic, the City of Kansas City, Missouri designated Hope Faith as the Homeless Emergency Response Center. The organization moved their entire operation outdoors to a closed city block, setting up tents and running water to create the Community Assistance Village. What began as a response to the homelessness crisis quickly became a response to all Kansas Cityans who were laid off, furloughed, or just one paycheck away. Within the first month, Hope Faith saw a needs increase of 26%. The team didn't hesitate to adapt operations and continued serving hundreds of people daily as a critical component of the pandemic response.
Congratulations to this year's Brilliance in Resilience Award honoree, based on People's Choice votes. Hope Faith, Homeless Assistance Campus.
So what does it mean to win the Brilliance in Resilience Award? I feel like it really validates what our team has done on the ground, being frontline workers for the last 53 weeks. It really shows that even through adversities, we have true character, and it shows on a day in and day out basis.
Next, we have the nominees for the Brilliance in Resilience Award that operate with an annual budget of more than $1.5 million. These organizations include Children's Mercy Kansas City, Jewish Family Services of Greater Kansas City, and Newhouse.
The life-saving work of Children's Mercy Kansas City never paused in the face of the pandemic. As the city's only pediatric hospital, the organization quickly became the trusted resource for information and services surrounding children and COVID-19. Children's Mercy worked closely with school districts and early childhood centers, provided guidance to local health departments, and kept the community informed with online updates and virtual town halls in multiple languages. To better serve their patients, the hospital expanded telemedicine from 4,000 visits to over 38,000 between 2019 and 2020. Children's Mercy also continues to administer vaccinations to teachers and school personnel. The team has continually adapted to provide care for patients, families, employees, educators, and more.
When the pandemic hit, Jewish Family Services knew they would see a dramatic increase in those needing help with food, rent, and utilities. The organization more than doubled its food pantry impact in 2020, serving around 900 families each month. The Jewish Family Services team also worked to access CARES Act funding to help 745 families avoid eviction. Reconfiguring the organization's older adult services required even more creativity. The team converted their mental health and older adult case management system to a virtual model and developed protocols so staff could safely provide transportation and other services to elderly clients. Through extraordinary effort, Jewish Family Services assisted nearly 9,000 clients in 2020 and distributed 230% more food, emergency assistance, and older adult services compared to the previous year.
When the pandemic hit, families were told to stay home and stay safe. However, the team at Newhouse knows that home is not safe for everyone. The Domestic Violence Agency saw cases spike during stay-at-home orders, with victims trapped at home with their abusers, and stresses compounded by economic instability. Newhouse adapted quickly to ensure there was no interruption in life-saving services. Despite limited resources, the staff shifted to teletherapy, created enrichment boxes for isolated families in the shelter, and supported resident children through virtual learning. When CDC guidelines forced the shelter to drop to 1/3 capacity, Newhouse got creative by placing survivors in hotels. The organization's doors remained open, providing safe shelter and healing for Kansas City's most vulnerable.
Congratulations to this year's Brilliance in Resilience Award honoree, based on People's Choice votes, Children's Mercy Kansas City.
Being recognized for this award would be an honor and great recognition of all of the hard work and dedication of our staff. Our vision is to create a world of well-being for all children, and even during a pandemic, our vision didn't waver. We are so proud of our team and continue to be in awe of the generosity and support of our great community. At Children's Mercy, our mission moves forward and our people come first. Thank you for the opportunity for this great recognition.
Our next group of nominees are the candidates for the Pivoting Pioneer Award. This award recognizes nonprofit organizations that developed new programs and services in 2020. The nominees for the Pivoting Pioneer Award, with an annual budget of less than $1.5 million, are Happy Bottoms, Kansas City Actors Theater, and Wildwood Outdoor Education Center.
Early in the pandemic, Happy Bottoms received hundreds of phone calls from families desperately in need of diapers. The organization knew that COVID-19's effects were amplifying service barriers and that the community's need for diapers was increasing significantly. To address this demand and need, the team was creative in launching new programs. The drive-through diaper distribution not only provided diapers, but leveraged local organizations to provide other services, including flu vaccines and food. Happy Bottoms also partnered with other local groups to provide diapers at mobile food pantry events, serving an additional 700 children monthly. When the pandemic worsened transportation access, Happy Bottoms set up home delivery for clients. In a pandemic that disproportionately affected parents and caregivers, the Happy Bottoms team listened to what the community needed and continued to pivot in response.
The onset of social distancing in March 2020 halted all live productions for Kansas City Actors Theater. Faced with the complete shutdown of its core operations, the organization made a swift decision to embrace an alternate performance medium, which is how Kansas City Actors Radio Theater was born. Inspired by vintage radio series, the team obtained a weekly spot on KKFI 90.1 FM community radio and commissioned a local playwright to create a 12-episode series based on local history. The result was Kansas City 1924, a compelling look at the days leading up to the dawn of the Pendergast era. In total, 26 weeks of radio programming was created by Kansas City Actors Theater after their pivot away from live performances. Audiences embraced the new medium, individual contributions peaked, and Kansas City Actors Theater continues to weather the pandemic by branching out in new directions.
After making the difficult decision to cancel in-person camp sessions in May 2020, Wildwood Outdoor Education Center pivoted to deliver outdoor learning and activities remotely while also expanding camp programs. The small staff created and delivered over 200 summer camp activity kits, 1,000 friendship kits, and 56 winter activity kits between June and December 2020. In order to reach campers online, Wildwood's team also produced 11 unique video lessons that provided instruction for engaging outdoor activities, which reached over 3,500 individuals. Finally, Wildwood established a new day camp program in order to double the number of campers served, include younger campers, and bring program options to families.
Congratulations to this year's Pivoting Pioneer Award honoree, based on People's Choice votes. Happy Bottoms.
Winning the Pivoting Pioneer Award is such an honor. I know that every single person nominated in this category worked incredibly hard to meet the increased demands in 2020, and we are honored. Personally, it gives me pride because I know how hard my team worked to get everything done that we did in 2020, and I am thrilled that they're able to be recognized this way. Thank you so much to our volunteers, our donors, our incredible team, our board of directors, our young professional board. Everyone we work with is just blows my mind every single day how amazing and passionate they all are. So thank you all.
Next, we have the nominees for the Pivoting Pioneer Award that operate with an annual budget of more than $1.5 million. These organizations include Harvesters, the Community Food Network, Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Kansas City, and YMCA of Greater Kansas City.
As a regional food bank serving 26 counties in Kansas and Missouri, Harvesters, the Community Food Network, knew in March 2020 that they had entered uncharted waters. Not only would there be an immediate need for food, but also heightened health concerns for distribution. Additionally, shutdowns of food suppliers would necessitate decisive action. The organization quickly shifted from normal operations to disaster relief leadership and management. Harvesters added 60 no-contact distribution sites, including mega mobile distributions held in cooperation with local government officials at COVID testing and vaccination sites. The organization invested in new equipment and infrastructure, including sorting and packaging machines to cover work normally handled by volunteers, as well as generators to ensure power outages would not disrupt the new distribution systems or spoil food. At the end of 2020, Harvesters had already distributed more than 51 million meals. Harvesters' mission to feed hungry people today and work to end hunger tomorrow was never needed more than in 2020.
Throughout 2020, Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Kansas City worked to ensure the community's vulnerable young people had access to critical resources. After closing for just one day at the start of the pandemic, the clubs immediately altered program operations, preparing and delivering hot meals daily and facilitating well-check calls to all members on a weekly basis. Through August of 2020, over 85,000 meals were prepared and delivered, and over 20,000 well-check calls were made. In September, Boys and Girls Clubs again adapted, increasing operational hours to full days to serve as a virtual school participation hub in order to provide certified teachers, reliable connectivity, and in-person academic support. The clubs also added additional sites to serve even more youth. The resilience of Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Kansas City over the past year provided stability to thousands of youth across our community.
Throughout the pandemic, the YMCA of Greater Kansas City aligned their resources with the changing needs of the community. The Y developed new programs to support youth learning and gave a lifeline to working parents. The organization first pivoted in March 2020 to develop an essential child care program that allowed essential workers to go to work with peace of mind that their children were safe. The organization then pivoted to address the looming concern for working families at the beginning of the school year, how to support kids with remote learning. The Y implemented the new Y Learning Academy program, which provides full-day, in-person support for virtual learning for children ages 5 through 12. Thanks to this innovation, more than 2,400 children were able to learn in a safe environment in 2020, while their parents maintained employment in critical jobs to support their families and their communities.
Congratulations to this year's Pivoting Pioneer Award honoree based on People's Choice votes, Harvesters, the Community Food Network.
Winning the Pivoting Pioneer Award means so much to Harvesters, the Community Food Network. Our staff, our volunteers, and our partner agencies work diligently to make sure that no one in this community went hungry during their time of need. I think it was the passion for the work that we do and the commitment on all of our behalf that really kept us going. That, coupled with so much support from this community, enabled us to deliver on our mission.
Our next set of nominees is for the Equity in Action Award. This award recognizes nonprofit organizations and individuals who demonstrate an outstanding commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion. The nonprofit organizations that are nominees for this year's Equity in Action Award include Kansas City Friends of Alvin Ailey, Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, and Second Presbyterian Church.
Focused on its three-part mission as a presenter, educator, and community unifier, Kansas City Friends of Alvin Ailey has spent the better part of 4 decades transforming Kansas City through its youth programs, artistic ventures, and intentional programming to open the door to racial equity and honest conversations. Kansas City Friends of Alvin Ailey was founded in 1984 by a coalition of civic, corporate, and community leaders dedicated to establishing a second home for the internationally renowned Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater. In 2020, the organization created a new program called Courageous Conversations for its board of directors, committee co-chairs, and advisory board to fully explore and understand systemic racism. Using the technical skills acquired from redesigning 10 annual youth and community programs, this virtual series continues to grow in popularity and has attracted other community partners to join the conversation.
Since its inception in 1990, Negro Leagues Baseball Museum has been dedicated to preserving and applauding the rich history of African American baseball and its social impact of bridging the country's racial gap. In 2020, this mission and heritage took on greater meaning as the museum and its leadership hosted invaluable discussions concerning the racial divide. Through the lens of baseball, the museum is in a distinct position to speak to issues of adversity, triumph, and overcoming racial injustice. Recent forums hosted by Negro Leagues Baseball Museum have included conversations with young African American players, as well as race forums with coaches and executives. By hosting these discussions around the subjects of equity, diversity, and inclusion, Negro Leagues Baseball Museum has brought important dialogues to the forefront of the conversation surrounding racial equity.
Second Presbyterian Church has always identified greater diversity and equity as a top priority, but it was in 2020 that the church began to embody this commitment on a deeper level. Starting in June 2020, the church formed a new anti-racism group to champion the idea of anti-racism in their congregation. The group began offering anti-racism trainings and book discussions and formed new community partnerships with the Kansas City Indian Center and Covenant Presbyterian Church. These new partnerships have led to discussions, donation drives, and a sermon series that spotlights Indigenous voices and spirituality. Second Presbyterian Church has worked to make anti-racism education, training, and community action a central focus for people of all ages in their church.
Congratulations to this year's Equity in Action Award honoree. Based on People's Choice votes, Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. Yay!
Our entire team at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum is tremendously proud and honored to be nominated for the Equity in Action Award, with the understanding that there are so many amazing organizations that are doing the necessary work, again, to enhance the quality of life for our citizens in this metropolitan area. And we couldn't be more proud of the work that we're doing, but also proud to be affiliated with a tremendous group of other agencies and organizations that are doing tremendous work in our community.
We are now honored to recognize the individuals who will be receiving this year's Equity in Action Award. Chrissy Dastrup of Troost Market Collective, Deidre Anderson of United Inner City Services, and Tenna Taruna of Heart to Heart International.
Since the outset of her career, Chrissy Dastrup has been known for bringing people and communities together. This is exemplified in the founding of Troost Market Collective and its crown jewel, the Troost Appaloosa Festival. In the midst of Black Lives Matter protests last summer, Chrissy brought together a dynamic team to create KC Art on the Block, a Black Lives Matter project, In partnership with 6 local Black artists, her team oversaw 6 murals with the value statement Black Lives Matter installed across the city. Covering over 2,000 linear feet of public city streets, this collection of murals is the largest public art installation of its kind. Congratulations, Chrissy.
Being nominated for the Equity in Action Award is really pretty amazing. I am so honored to have been nominated for this, and I'm even more happy that equity is at the forefront of the conversation. And if the work that I've done can help keep that as something that we're always focused on and something we are thinking about that is worthy of awards, then I'm happy to participate.
As the Executive Director of United Inner City Services, Deidre Anderson has always been committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion, both professionally and personally. This was exemplified during the Black Lives Matter protests last summer, when Deidre took the concept of anti-racism to heart and began to infuse her organization and mission with that creed. This included ensuring that her board of directors was equitable, hosting a race, community, and conversation series for the families and staff of United Inner City Services, opening a new center in August of 2020 in North Kansas City, ensuring that staff hiring, assessment, and development all reflect the organization's anti-racist stance, and much more. Deidre not only works diligently to bring awareness to issues of the present day, but also lives out the motto of anti-racism in everything she and her organization does. Congratulations, Deidre.
Being honored with the Equity in Action Award is just an honor for my own children, an honor for the other people of color who I am entrusted to support and lead and advocate on behalf of, and it is about the next generation. It's about the generation of young children and leaders in this community that are so worthy of being seen and recognized, and I'm so grateful to Nonprofit Connect for even noticing the work that I'm doing. I do it as a labor of love, and I am so appreciative.
When the COVID-19 pandemic reared its head in 2020, Tena Taruna, Director of Heart to Heart International Laboratory Programs, saw a need to provide easy, accessible COVID-19 testing to marginalized communities. Tena partnered with community leaders and groups to enlist their expertise for the best ways to reach their community members and gain their trust. Tena's background in management enabled him and his team to coordinate the testing and collection of samples, but it was his desire to engage people within the community that made the program so successful. Thanks to Tena's leadership, over 5,000 essential workers in marginalized communities received COVID-19 tests last year. Congratulations, Tena.
I'm very surprised. We're always focused on just fulfilling our mission and making sure that people we want to care for are served. And it's just, I'm happy that this is something that has been recognized, and hopefully it's really more in recognition of those that are served. And then, of course, the team, the great team that works alongside me making it happen. Thank you so much.
Our next set of nominees is for the Stronger Together Award. This award recognizes a nonprofit organization's ability to join forces with another entity or multiple entities to leverage combined resources in 2020. The nonprofit organizations nominated for the Stronger Together Award, with an annual budget of less than $1.5 million, are Crosslines Community Outreach with Unified Government Public Health Department, Hope Faith with Heart to Heart International, and Turn the Page, KC, with Campfire Heartland, Boys and Girls Club of Greater Kansas City, the YMCA of Greater Kansas City, and the Upper Room.
During a period when many people sheltering in place, Crosslines Community Outreach and the Unified Government Public Health Department worked diligently to find ways to distribute services and supplies to families in need. By joining forces, these agencies were able to create a food delivery service that provided a week's worth of food to households experiencing food insecurity to COVID-19. Together, this partnership was able to feed more than 10,000 Wyandotte County residents in 2020. Through collaboration, innovation, and the sharing of resources, these agencies were able to widely share testing and vaccine information, distribute COVID safety kits, and refer families to additional support when needed.
When so many were suspending services and tackling the shift of working remotely in the midst of a pandemic, Hope Faith and Heart to Heart International partnered together to provide critical medical services and COVID testing so that anyone experiencing homelessness could feel safe and protected. Through the creation of a community assistance village, the agencies aimed to help alleviate the stress on healthcare facilities while providing services to the most vulnerable populations. Hope Faith's expertise in homelessness and vulnerable populations, coupled with Heart to Heart International's medical expertise, created an ideal partnership that has served over 1,300 people since April 2020. Because of the success of this partnership, Hope Faith and Heart to Heart International are currently designing a permanent on-site urgent care clinic.
Virtual school was a challenge for all families, but particularly those that face significant barriers like lack of internet access or parents deemed essential workers. Due to the swift action of Turn the Page KC with Campfire Heartland, Boys and Girls Club of Greater Kansas City, the YMCA of Greater Kansas City, and the Upper Room, this group of agencies came together to create viable options for families who needed a safe space for students in the community to study. Through the Out of School Time Collaborative, nearly 900 students were served every day in 2020 across 14 sites. This coalition raised more than $4 million for over 10 local foundations, ensured students had access to academic support and compassionate care they needed to keep learning and growing despite difficult circumstances.
Congratulations to this year's Stronger Together Award honorees. Based on People's Choice votes, Turn the Page KC with Campfire Heartland, Boys and Girls Club of Greater Kansas City, the YMCA of Greater Kansas City, and the Upper Room.
Being nominated for this award really, for me, validates the power of collaboration in the nonprofit sector. I think that when nonprofits that in theory could be seen as competitors, when they really work together, it exponentially amplifies how many kids we can serve. And it's really better for the community. And I think this particular project really showed how working together can be better for everybody, and most importantly, can be better for kids and families.
Next, we have the nonprofit organizations nominated for the Stronger Together Award with a budget of more than $1.5 million. This includes Greater Kansas City Community Foundation with LISC Greater Kansas City, Mid-American Regional Council, and United Way of Greater Kansas City, the Goodwill of Western Missouri and Eastern Kansas with the Urban League of Greater Kansas City, and the YMCA of Greater Kansas City with United Methodist Church of the Resurrection.
When faced with unprecedented challenges, Kansas City reacts with unprecedented collaboration. In March 2020, it was immediately clear that nonprofits urgently needed additional funding to respond to increased services. Rather than having one organization take the spotlight, The Greater Kansas City Community Foundation, LISC Greater Kansas City, Mid-America Regional Council, and United Way of Greater Kansas City banded together. These agencies formed the Kansas City Regional COVID-19 Response and Recovery Fund to marshal a multi-state effort to quickly and strategically mobilize financial resources. This effort provided more than $17 million to nonprofit organizations with constituents disproportionately affected by COVID-19. This truly collaborative initiative distributed grants in a way that fostered trust and resulted in greater giving. Above all, each participating agency stayed focused on the primary goal to be as helpful as possible, as quickly as possible.
United in their vision for self-sustainability of all people, Goodwill of Western Missouri and Eastern Kansas joined forces with Urban League of Greater Kansas City to respond to the economic repercussions of COVID-19. In April 2020, the two organizations launched a text line service to provide populations struggling with internet access and digital literacy an accessible option for learning. Through these services, they were able to provide resources on filing for unemployment, performing a job search, and locating local emergency services. This text line also helped individuals connect with follow-up services and enroll in programs offered by the agencies. Since its launch, over 1,300 Kansas Cityans have benefited from this text line, and Goodwill and Urban League have secured the funds needed to sustain the text line throughout the ongoing pandemic.
The YMCA of Greater Kansas City is well known for providing safe before and after school child care programs. Therefore, when schools announced plans to begin the year with virtual and hybrid schedules, the Y was prepared to help. However, with school district buildings unavailable, the Y didn't have a space to offer a full-day Y Learning Academy. Inspired by their joint focus on closing the education gap and serving the community, the United Methodist Church of the Resurrection offered to the Y their large spaces with high-speed internet to host programming activities. This partnership allowed single-parent households and households without internet access a place for their children to continue learning. Without Church of the Resurrection, the Y would not have been able to continue its Y Learning Academy program, and parents would not have had a place for their kids to be while they went to work. Thanks to this partnership, more than 230 children had a safe, comforting place to learn throughout the day.
Congratulations to this year's Stronger Together Award honoree, based on the People's Choice votes, YMCA of Greater Kansas City with United Methodist Church of the Resurrection.
Well, we are thrilled to be able to win the Stronger Together Award, and it means so much to our organization. Certainly the mission and values and the purpose of our organization is carried through by this partnership we're having with Church of the Resurrection.
And we feel the same way. It was a great honor to be recognized in this way. We were so proud to have a chance to work with the Y, and this just encourages our people to want to do even more of these kinds of things with community partners and with the Y in the future. So thank you so much.
And on behalf of our staff, our volunteers, and our board of directors and Church of the Resurrection, we thank you.
Our final set of honorees recognizes individuals who demonstrated an outstanding commitment to champion a nonprofit organization in 2020. Executive staff, support staff, volunteers, and board members all play vital roles in helping nonprofit organizations fulfill their missions. The 4 individuals we are recognizing today are outstanding representatives in each of these areas. Congratulations to our 4 Persevering Advocate Award honorees, Dr. Kimberly Beatty, Kenzie Hoyle, Carmen Kraus, and Ann Tinsman.
Dr. Kimberly Beatty, Chancellor of Metropolitan Community College, first arrived to the college in 2017. She is Metropolitan Community College's first African-American chancellor in its 105-year history, and the only African-American CEO in the Missouri Community College system. Her dedication to advancing opportunities for all particularly those of underserved communities, inspired her to create and champion an innovation council and educational plan for the college. The goal of these initiatives was to address the educational needs of students as well as the workforce needs of Kansas City's local businesses and industries. At the onset of the pandemic, Dr. Beatty immediately transitioned the organization to online learning, provided laptops and Wi-Fi hotspots for students in need, and increased virtual staff support for students who required assistance with remote learning. Dr. Beatty has provided the strategic vision for Metropolitan Community College and is widely recognized as an influential community leader. Congratulations, Dr. Beatty.
Receiving this award means a lot to me. It means a lot to me because first, I'm being recognized for the hard work and the perseverance that it takes to do what we do every day. Sometimes we feel like in these jobs, it's a thankless job. Many times you only hear about the problems, you don't hear about the good things. And so being recognized for the perseverance that it takes to make the difficult decisions, run an organization, and excel really makes me smile.
As the Partnership Development Manager for Visit KC, Kenzie Hoyle works closely with many of the industries that faced extreme financial challenges due to the events of 2020. To help mitigate these burdens, Kenzie worked diligently to partner with local restaurants and identify ways that Visit KC and its foundation could help serve this valuable sector of Kansas City's economy. Additionally, Kenzie sought out programming opportunities to better serve hospitality workers facing unemployment and small businesses at risk of permanent closure. By identifying and executing opportunities, Kenzie managed Visit KC's resources in ways that brought new funding and visibility to businesses that were in crisis. Specifically, the success of Kansas City Restaurant Week and the funds contributed to the beneficiaries are the direct result of Kenzie's committed leadership to the community. Congratulations, Kenzie.
Winning the Persevering Advocate Award is an honor. I feel so grateful every day to serve this community alongside so many talented and kind-hearted colleagues. Most I'd consider more like friends and family, especially after all the Zoom calls this year. I'd be remiss if I did not sincerely thank Nonprofit Connect, not only for choosing me for this award, but also for providing such a warm light and supportive network. I feel so lucky to be a part of this community. Thank you.
Carmen Kraus stepped up at a critical time for Hope Network and the City of Raytown when it was needed most in 2020. Serving as a key liaison and public relations advocate for food distribution sites, Carmen helped direct food overages from wholesale distributors to various churches, food banks, and other community sites. She handled all logistics, including food coordination, the stocking of food bags, and the delivery of food to community members in need. Carmen also created a document for community members to find meals, food boxes, distribution centers, and children's lunches. This resource was then shared by all food distribution centers in that area. Thanks to Carmen's leadership and creative ideas, community members in need of food were provided with nourishment during the hardships of 2020. Congratulations, Carmen.
I'm one of those people who likes to help other people succeed, and I celebrate their successes. And so for someone like Michelle with the Hope Network noticing what I did behind the scenes, it's very humbling. I really appreciate it because, you put in the long hours and the time and nobody really knows what you're doing. And so I was surprised that she even noticed.
Ann Tinsman has been a key leader for the Children's Place for more than 14 years as a volunteer, donor, and board member. But her service and leadership in 2020 was even more remarkable. With 2020 being Ann's final year as a member of the board, She intuitively knew this was a key time to demonstrate leadership and perseverance. Ann stepped up to lead the capital campaign to fund a new building into which the agency successfully relocated in fall 2020. Ann's generosity and enthusiasm helped secure $200,000 for the capital campaign, as well as the funds needed to recreate the beloved Rudy Bear statue at the new building. Although her tenure on the board of directors is complete, she is now spearheading an effort to create a board alumni club to provide a way for former members of the board to stay connected and involved with the Children's Place. Congratulations, Ann.
Winning the Persevering Advocate Award means so much. I am very honored and I am very humbled. The work that the Children's Place does in the community is so important to help the youngest children of our community serve from life's deepest hurts. And there are many people that are involved. There's staff, there's board members, there's volunteers who give so much every single day to the agency. And I'm just proud to work and serve alongside of them and to support the agency in any way I can.
What a fantastic group of nonprofit organizations and individuals we have here in Kansas City. Congratulations again to all of our 2021 Philanthropy Award honorees.
On behalf of the Nonprofit Connect Board of Directors, it has been an honor to present these awards and to shine the spotlight on so many nonprofit organizations and individuals who are making an impact in Kansas City. We appreciate you joining us today. Starting in just a few minutes, we hope you will visit our celebration rooms to meet, greet, and share your personal congratulations to this year's nominees. These celebration rooms will be hosted on Zoom and will remain open for approximately 45 minutes. The URL links can be found on this same page below the live stream video.
We would also like to extend a special thanks to our sponsors. Your support of this event, Nonprofit Connect, and nonprofit organizations in Kansas City is truly appreciated.
We hope you were inspired by this year's honorees and are now enthusiastic to go turn obstacles into opportunities.
And remember, when life gives you lemons, just think about how delicious that glass of lemonade will be.
Cheers!